All people hate the fallen ones. So, how must I be hated who is more desirable than all living things? Frankenstein or Mother Prometheus, written by Mary Shelley, met with the readers on the very first day of 1818. Shelley's horror masterpiece continues to inspire many science fiction and horror stories for over 200 years. The first Frankenstein adaptation was shot by Edison Studios and met with the audience in 1910. In the movie, directed by J. Searle Dowley, we saw Frankenstein's monsters alive for the first time. Over the following 110 years, we saw Frankenstein's monster in many different productions with different variations. Still, the monster found its way into our collective memories with its main design in the 1932's movie Frankenstein, directed by James Whale.
Will you play with me?
Of course, it could not be expected that such content would not turn into a comedy material over time. For example, the movie named I Was a Teenage Frankenstein, directed by Herbert L. Strock in 1957, Abbott and Costello's encounter with Frankenstein in 1948, the delicious stop-motion animation Mad Monster Party from 1967. Well, possible to extend the list, but I think that's enough. Still, it's necessary to exclude Mel Brooks' wicked comedy from all of these compilations. It's particularly memorable for Gene Wilder's cracked Frankenstein character and Marty Feldman's duped performance as Igor.
What are you going to do to me? I'm not afraid of you.
Kill the monster! See Mel Brooks come.
Well, what do you think was the fastest reaction for this production? I will give you 2 guesses right, but you'll only need 1. What? Yeah, Turkish Frankenstein, aka Cute Frankenstein.
Çok muhterem baronum Frederick von Frankenstein'i hürmetle selamlarım.
Nejat Saydam, one of the Yeşilçam's most prolific director, is a name that has brought the screwball comedy genre in Turkish culture in general. Undoubtedly, Cute Frankenstein is one of the most remarkable productions among these adaptations. In fact, it would be not wrong to say that it makes many viewers laugh more than the original one. Cute Frankenstein has a more a la Turca structure compared to the other Turksploitation samples. But we can say that has been kinda unique production thanks to the timeless touches.
Ben Timur Frank. Yeah? Frankenstein.
The character of Timur Frank, played by Bülent Kayabaş, draws a very unusual portrait of Dr. Frankenstein. Frank, who attended the Spirit Lovers Association meeting with his fiancée, whom he did not hesitate to flirting with at every simple opportunity. He is a number of one advocate of reasonable thinkings and rationality.
Ben Frederick von Frankenstein.
One day, Timur received a mysterious message from his grandfather. After that, he sets off led by science. Honestly, defending the supremacy of science, Timur is quite assertive in the image of a mad professor. Things get out of his hands when a maniac's brain was accidentally transplanted into his cadaver. Well, Timur's main task now be correct this mistake. In the role of monster, Savaş Başar draws an extraordinary portrait of Frankenstein's monster despite all technical impossibilities. Isn't like something Anton Chigurh in No Country for Frankenstein? Well, Turkutöz Atay's glamour of Igor named Fetin is another important element that increases the pleasure of watching this movie. Thanks to these characters, the movie turned into real Yeşilçam Carnival. It's also necessary to take into account the comedic elements of the movie that have leaked into the script. In particular, the dialogues between Frank and the mysterious conductor are like the summary of the absurd humor dosage of Yeşilçam comedies of that period.
Kalkıyoruz. Kalkıyoruz. İlk ve son aşkım benim.
Ama saçlarımı bozacaksın. Daha yeni kuaförden geldim.
Kalkıyoruz. Kalkıyoruz. Kalkıyoruz. Kalkıyoruz. Kalkıyoruz.
Yapma.
Kalkıyoruz. Biraz sonra tünelden geçiyoruz. İyi halt ediyoruz.
I think do not make a question the relation of Croata fighters who made the circumcision ritual. In addition, the scenes in which Cappadocia lived the tradition of erotic comedy with great enthusiasm found their place in the movie, probably as a result of the pressure of the producers. In short, the movie is a world of absurd comedy with a low budget. The movie also features fictional getaways that are cheap but appreciated. For example, the use of an old church as a castle of Frankenstein was one of them. Although the older space belonged to the Crimean church in Istanbul, different locations were used for the shooting of the killers in the castle. At that time, graphic using of Cappadocia, which was not as popular as today in the international tourism arena, can be considered avant-garde. In the movie named Man Who Saved the World, remember the planet Cappadocium, where all pharaohs fell? However, in the movie, we see over and over again that the horror codes of Western cinema are reworked. Secret passageways in libraries, animated portraits, cracked professors, and huge laboratories. Categorizing the sample of schools daily and monthly, where ideas like a brain bank take place.
Bu önemli ana tanıklık etmeye hazır mısın Titin? Hazırım hocam.
Recently, we had the chance to watch another Frankenstein comedy, Like a Monster, Canavar gibi in Turkish, directed by Özgür Bakar. This movie tells the story of Gürbüz, who is also swindler. After being killed, resuscitated by a scientist with the huge fetish of being Dr. Frankenstein. Of course, it's an extremely free adaptation of Frankenstein, but honestly, it's a considerable tryout, of course. Cute Frankenstein was actually a horror comedy collage with a pretty high dose of humor. Unfortunately, due to the cinematic dynamics of that period, it was an experiment that could not be fed enough. It's important to appreciate Nejat Saydam's effort to create at least one young Frankenstein variation. Well, who could care about the fate of a murder except the executioner who will get his wages? Sorry, I thought it would be a cool ending sentence, but I might be wrong. Whatever. Take care of yourselves, fellas. Thank you very much.
Ben canavarım. Canavar. Tam 17 kişi öldürdüm. Hem de nasıl? Ne işkencelerle.